No.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to meeting of Campbell Town Council. Just some housekeeping, please. If the fire alarm goes off, it's not a drill. Please exit through the door behind you over there, or the way you came into and assemble at the front. Thank you. Okay, agenda item 24091 to receive apologies for absence.
No.
24092 to note declarations of interest and requests for dispensation to discuss and vote on a matter in which a member or co-opted member has a disclosable pecuniary or non-pecuniary interest. Does that apply to anybody here?
No.
Okay, no. Agenda item 24093 is the open forum where we have comments and questions concerning any items on this agenda can be put to the council by the public during this period. Matters which in the chairman's view require debate and or a discussion will be referred to the next committee council meeting as appropriate. Items not pertaining to the agenda may also be taken at this time at the chairman's discretion. This public forum is restricted to 15 minutes and 3 minutes per person. Unless I allow otherwise. Any comments from our residents?
One chair on 24/9/13.
24/9/13. Yeah.
But the D-Day event, when it comes up, can we speak if what they've needed?
Yes. Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Anybody, any comments?
Just one quick little point. I just wondered if anyone had any validated information about what's happening with the railway hub as to whether it's going to.
You should have been there 5 minutes.
Councillor Smith might know something. I
I'll
don't
have to
know.
wait till next month now.
My luck.
Short version is hopefully early May.
Okay,
Back under
thanks.
Steve.
That's great.
Anything else? No? Okay. We shall move on. Agenda item 24094 is to approve and sign the minutes of the HTC meeting of the 12th of March 24. Are there any issues with any of these minutes?
I've got a couple of
This is Councillor Small, yes.
queries or comments or whatever. Page 3, when do we expect
Hold on,
the second lectern to be installed? Do we have any information on that?
We've got a meeting with the guys on the 18th of April.
Yes, we're meeting next week, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, we're meeting next week, so hopefully we'll have an update.
Just on the whole wood update, yeah.
The only other comment is that Dr. Frances Hill is referred to twice. I think her first name should be spelt with an E rather than an I.
It's your report.
My profuse apologies.
Well, it's.
We will make the necessary amendments.
She's a lady, not a fellow.
Okay, can I have somebody to propose we accept? Thank you, Councillor Small, and a seconder, please. Thank you, Councillor Sullivan. All those in favour? Thank you. Agenda item 24095 is to receive a report from RPC. You're up.
Everyone's had the report in advance, but happy to report, say since the last meeting, 0 burglaries or attempt burglaries in the area. The report says no theft from or theft of motor vehicles. Since the report, we've had 1 theft from, which was at Total Fitness.
Okay.
Again, yeah. If you have to put a bet on it,
It'll be a Total
it's going
Fitness.
to be
You
Total
think they'd learn, wouldn't they?
Do you have cameras up there?
Short answer, yes. Are they used? The ones they do have are mainly on the building and do the building line. Any that they did have, and I don't think they do anymore, in the car park are too high for extra poor lighting. They're not great quality anymore. So evidentially, no. But what they do have is cameras on both entrances. which is fine for vehicles coming in, but most of them use the unprotected entrance all the way on the back where the model airplanes go, so they just walk in.
That's right, yeah.
It is a nightmare of a car park to try and do, and like most places, we have the same issue for HAM14. You know, there's only so much you can cover with a camera, unless you've got a bottoms pit for CCTV. But if they did do slightly better cameras,
Do they send messages, emails, newsletters to their members and notifying them that there have been thefts in the car park?
and provide bad publicity for the business. Provide bad publicity for the business.
Do what?
And
Oh, you
provide bad
You
publicity.
cynic.
Huh?
You don't want to provide bad publicity to the business. Come and use our gym and potentially have your car nicked or something.
Well, I would consider it as something quite concerning for people who use the gym, and they would like to know about it.
They've worked with us in the past where we have put posters up in the car park, mass to say, you know, beware thieves, blah, 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 don't leave valuables in the common denominator is if you leave something on display in your car,
Yeah.
Obviously.
and 95%, if not more, could well be close to 100%.
Yeah.
It's a laptop, and I believe the only way it was golf course, actually, which we didn't catch them running down the road with them. But it's laptops, it's things like that, and it's not like on display in the cars.
Yeah.
So they are reluctant to publicise it, and we keep pushing because, you know, yes, granted, I mean, you go into most car parks, and I get it, businesses, hotels, things like that, you leave your vehicle at your own risk. And of course you do, but, you know.
Is it a private car park?
Yes, private. So,
What? Why do you get so involved in it then?
because it's still a fence.
Okay.
You know, it is, whether it's private or not, you know, the fact is it's still a theft from a motor vehicle. And it'd be exactly the same if your car was stolen off the drive. It's private land. It's still a criminal offence. With regards to target hire in the area, we've had our officers go before and give advice, but again, it's well, you know, they're protecting their asset, which is the building, the CCTV all around it. The security up there is very good for the building,
Not for the car park.
car park. It's been better and worse over the years. You know, the barriers are back up and working again. But again, I'm being cynical, it's in their interest to do that, because when the barriers don't work, members of the travel community want to.
Yes.
So that is why they've spent money on those barriers. We know that's the reason.
Is it worth us putting it in our newsletter in the Hamford Town Council website saying, yet again, thefts from, because they can't stop us.
No.
And it makes the public aware of it.
Yes.
And it makes Gareth's job easier.
Yeah.
If we put a big report on it saying more thefts at Total Fitness.
Email me.
I'll email you something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think if we keep it as in, you know, there are theft from motor vehicles in the area, don't leave high value goods on display, locations that have been targeted include.
Yes. Yes.
Brilliant.
And just leave it at Total Fitness.
I'll have a dig and see if I can come up with another location.
Total Fitness. And Fitness
A
Total.
well-known local gym.
Yes, well, yes. So yes, there is something that we can put out, and I'll
Email it to me.
get the word.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's a good idea to
Yes.
do it.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. Again, with regards to the harassment, there's been absolutely no repeat demand. Antisocial behaviour, there's been one, again, I always hit the caveat, one that we've had reported to us. You're not telling me there's only been one incident of antisocial behaviour in Hamford.
Who smashed the window of the kitchen studio?
It goes down, it's gone down as, well, actually went down as an attempt burglary to begin with, and then got reclassified as criminal damage. So again, yeah, we know that figure isn't correct.
11:30 at the Freemasons kicking out time.
Yeah.
Which has been put forward, it's been put through to licensing
Yes.
as something to review. You know, whether we'll be able to prove it has come from there, but yes, it's quite a coincidence that's.
But in fairness to the Freemasons, wasn't it a private party that kicked off? It wasn't
Yes,
the
you're right.
nice people that
No, it was
normally
closed for private
visited.
party on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
It's
it
still,
wasn't the normal nice people that just go in for a quiet drink.
no, and it is still that venue though. However, the Freemasons always touch wood under this DPF, they always work well with us.
Okay.
So we can't really ask for much more than that. If they're willing to work with us, then that's half the battle usually.
Okay.
Anything on CCTV?
I've not had a request in for.
No.
There was a big fight outside their early doors the other night.
Did you win?
Pardon?
Did you win?
Oh yeah.
I don't think we know about that.
No, you probably don't. It didn't attract any police attention. But there was a good old brawl in the street. The good old days, yeah.
It wasn't like a rolling ball towards the window, was it?
No, it was on just outside the Freemasons' front door.
Two incidents of fraud.
All
both
these-
separate.
If I may
Yes.
interrupt, the Scrambler Bike gang are back in action again. Leader drives a brilliant Scarlet machine.
Yeah.
His deputy drives a brilliant yellow machine, and their buddies drive grey, black, silvery type machines. There's a maximum of about 5 or 6 of them. They come down Hall Road and they do their wheelies down footpath 91, including round the sharp bend in the footpath. So if anybody's coming in the opposite direction, the chances of them going straight into them are very high, I would say.
Do you see them?
I see them, yes.
Do you take video of it?
There are reasons why I won't take photographs or videos, which ought to be obvious to people.
We know who they are though.
There's no number plates on them.
No.
You can identify them from video footage.
You can, but
Difficult, but
where does he keep his bike? That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's right in his house.
Can't prove it's his bike, can you, without registration?
No.
No, but so we have something called section 59 notices, and the notice goes against the rider and the bike.
Ah.
So we only need one or the other,
Mm.
and it doesn't have to be that. So the notice sticks with both of them.
Mm.
So if they swap bikes or sell the bike, we can still seize the bike or anything else.
Yeah.
So he's using it.
They're probably of school age because there was a resurgence during half term.
We think we know the owner of the yellow and the scarlet. The others, not too sure of, but we've got a fair idea. But
Yeah.
again, it's finding out where they're stashing the bikes.
Yeah.
Because our powers and policy to stop them are. Sorry, yes, so 2 instances of fraud. They were both separate incidents, one of which was a banking scam. The other, I've now found out, was a similar to what we were discussing actually. They intercepted a parcel. So they've ordered something and intercepted it. Very different, but
Yeah, very similar.
instance.
Yeah.
They've ordered a parcel to the address and someone has tried to intercept it at the door, pretending it's their address. Quite common. We've not had it actually in about 6 months, but it's been quite common over the years. It was iPad, some kind of tablet that they've tried to get hold of. Neither was successful. The banking fraud, they noticed straight away, went back up and everything was stopped. No money was taken, and they didn't. The delivery driver was actually quite switched on and didn't give the parcel at the person's address. So a bit of war with both of those things. 6 reports of missing people. Now, again, the numbers with this. Some of them are mental health incidents, some of them are parents reporting children that have missed curfew. In particular, this one's a little more than just missing curfew, but it is that argument of, well, are they missing or have they not come home when they said they're going to? Because of their age, they must be reported missing, and as far as we're concerned, they'll instantly go high. So everyone's reported, which is bit of a nightmare when you know Timmy or Tina have just decided that they're staying out for an extra hour and can't bother coming out. It's what it is. 4 domestic incidents, all separate, no repeat victims, and no physical violence was used in any of these 4 this month. As I think I've said on previous reports, the way we deal with domestics now has changed. We say positive action will be taken, that is usually in the realms of somebody's getting locked up. That is just not quite forced policy because it's there and thereabouts. But again, that includes children. So if it's a child over the age of 16, if there's a verbal argument, if there is any injury, certainly it is classed as domestic still. It's not just partners scrapping and a frying pan goes up for somebody. There's lots of different, it all gets classed as exactly the same. There's no differentiating from it. The thing with that is as well is that potentially with that incident that I've talked about with the child, somebody could be getting one. We had an incident, in fact, last month it will have fallen into mother reports son in the commotion, mother has scratched son's face with a nail, fingernail, and mum has been. No complaints not going any further, but mum's still been on her way to custody. He still goes down to domestic, he still gets investigated. The American sweet shop. Finally, Action managed to make some progress today, so actually something to report. We will be looking very soon to be doing some joint work with trading standards. I don't want to say any more than that with dates, but yes, there's things in motion. Ourselves, trading standards, and Cheshire East will all be involved. It's going to be a part of a wider operation, but the main focus will be handful. The American Sweet Shop. But they're tying it in with other things, but they've assured me that no, priority 1 is here. So trading standards will be taking the lead on that, but what we will be doing is recontacting anybody that's made a complaint to us, getting what's called a victim impact statement. So if there are positive results and we do end up going to court, the item will wait in court. So that's myself and Matt will be doing that over the next, realistically, the next couple of months. It's moving, but it's not quick. It's not a quick moving thing, but at least we've got some momentum in it. It's taken us long to get them back. So,
forgive my ignorance, Gareth. What is the American Sweet Shop? I have absolutely and utterly no idea.
So next to Franco's Chicken.
Near
Near
Theo's.
Theo's shop.
Next door.
Right.
It's near Theo's Chippy.
Right.
2 doors down from it. It's like the old newsagents.
Yeah, the
Right.
old newsagent.
So it is an actual sweet shop we're talking about, or
It
a
has
shop.
sweets in it.
Yeah.
Right.
They're
Okay.
Well, they
selling
sell
selling vape liquids.
They're selling vapes to
Okay.
underage.
Enough said, I
Allegedly.
think.
Yes.
This is counting next door.
Yes. So yes, hopefully some positive news on that in the
Great.
meetings.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Quick question.
Sorry, yes.
Oh, sorry.
Quick question. How's the parking going on at on Stanley Road on a Friday afternoon?
So Ramadan has finished. The car park is nearly finished. More to the point. So that will take 106. Well, it'll take 127 officially. They have promised me that with a bit of jiggery pokery, they will be fitting in 162 vehicles, which will take a significant amount off the road on a Friday.
The Belfry's still lending the car park, isn't it?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, 'cause it was all taped off the other day.
No, they are still lending the car park. There was a bit of a scare on Friday that we thought it was only going to be the first session, but it was for both. That will be for the foreseeable.
Yeah.
And they are still being encouraged to pay to park at the wagon as well, which quite a lot do. We are going to have another meeting with Stockport Council. The problem is basically the border runs down the middle of Stanley Road.
Yeah.
So the hotel is on us. Technically half the pub, what we take a lot, is on us. Everything on the right, the bus stop side of Stanley Road, which is where the main parking is on Stanley Road, is Manchester. What we have asked for is a review to be done. They are going to put lines further down, or just I can't remember the name of the road, past Bolshaw. And what I've asked is, can the bus stop be moved slightly further back, because it's going to be a nightmare when they put the new roundabout in anyway. And the lines to be put down all the way there. I've also asked if the white line is going to go down on Rumslow Road to differentiate from the pavement and the cycle lane, rather than the shared space it currently is. Because Stockport put theirs in, I want to know when ours is going in, because in its current state, it's a nightmare for me to enforce. Technically, probably couldn't.
Do Greater Manchester Police liaise with you? Or is it Cheshire, Greater Manchester?
The lines of communication are being greased. They do. It is always difficult. On this, we're starting to communicate a bit more, because we know if we're not careful, we're just going to end up pushing a problem one way or the other. And fortunately for us, it's easier for me to push on Manchester, because we will cover ourselves.
Well, the building is actually in Greater Manchester, so it is their problem. But when the parking flows and blocks Stanley Road, and it becomes dangerous, and Greater Manchester Police tell off everybody on that side that's driving from the retail park back into Hamforth, and they get quite aggressive, the Greater Manchester Police, with the people travelling, because I've seen it.
We, as I said, we want double yellow lines down on Stanley Road, which will be, as I said, it'll be a joint thing. Cheshire East will need to be involved, and Stockport Council. Rumslow Road, we want to differentiate between the pavement and cycle lane, and I want the yellow lines continued from the bus stop all the way down. Same on Wakefield side as well. And that pretty much covers us quite well. For the most part, well, that's almost completely, they seem to abide by the double yellow lines. You don't see any, apart from blue badge holders, which it's a bit of an uphill struggle. It happens everywhere. It's not a golden ticket to park wherever you want. Yes, you can park on the double yellow lines, but if you're going to cause chaos or a dangerous obstruction, just move slightly further down.
That way you want in Winslow.
Well, it's a different.
You know, the Pelican Crossing's a little bit too far from the mosques now, because I noticed last week, especially because there was a big family event, obviously, there's people coming out of the mosque and diving across that road, and how there isn't somebody flattened is beyond me.
So I've asked, when the new roundabout goes in, is anything going to be done about crossings? Because, I mean, technically, the lights, there's no crossing. There's no control crossing.
No, that's the problem.
It will be where they put it. And the big problem always is, on any road, but particularly a big road, I mean, it isn't a big road all the time, they will be reluctant to put the crossing too close to the roundabout, because it could be dangerous. The problem is, and it's very cynical, human nature, people are lazy. If you put the crossing too far away, they're not going to use it.
Well, that's it. They were driving in front of, they were coming out of the mosque, kids, families, running across the road, cars were coming out of the car wash place, people coming out of the mosque, and how, well, there's a lot of screeching of brakes, put it that way.
It doesn't help with the car wash there, because it's very busy. Very busy.
They're all lined up.
Since it's been brought up, I don't want to take up too much time. The no man's land that is opposite the pub, where the pavement extends massively, and it is used as half a dozen parking spaces. The mosque had said they are more than happy, in conjunction with anyone, or put it on the table, that if planters or some kind of thing was to be able to be put there in a certain way so people couldn't park there, they would be happy to get one of their children groups involved and one of the voluntary groups in to plant them and maintain them going forward. So it's something that potentially
That would take 6 cars out of the mix.
Right, we have a very full agenda. Can we have the last question, please?
I just wanted to say, councillors, I met up with PCSO Gareth Harding yesterday. We had a very in-depth conversation. He took 2 hours out of my life, which I'm not going to be able to get back. However, what I have asked for is that his police report is more in-depth, not just a draft where, and then he speaks on it, so that everybody knows what he's going to speak about, and he has agreed to do that. Okay.
Can I just say the short trust pavement's covered in bags again tonight?
Yes, I noticed.
Yes.
I know. I said it last night as well.
No.
Okay, thank you, councillors. Can we move on, please? Thank you very
What's
much.
the email
The
address?
very
on the
last
bottom?
thing, the email address at the bottom of the page is the email address for our new sergeants.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you for your report.
Thank you.
Agenda item 24096 is to approve and sign the order of payments for April 2024. Does anybody have any issues with the order of payments?
A quick question, Chair. The N-Power unmetered electricity for 3 years?
I'm sorry, no, it's not for 3 years. Do apologise. From there.
So that's one year, is it?
1 year, we get a credit note each time,
I was going to
unfortunately.
say, can you get me on that deal?
No, sorry, no. We get it. That's for 1 year, but we get a credit note. It's for our Christmas lights, which is why when we re-tender, we're looking at lower costs and what have you with them.
And how is that electricity usage
Don't.
estimated?
You don't want to know. You just don't want to know. Unmetered supply is unmetered supply. Okay, so they just estimate.
They dream up a figure.
Yeah, they draw up a figure. Yeah, and then they send me a default notice for not paying. So,
But surely they know what each individual light.
they get a rough idea. And I compared it to Chorley's street lighting bill because we pay for the street lights there. And we pay about that per year for 18 street lights. So, it probably is a rough guesstimate. Oh, it's a hell of a lot of a more expensive rate than you would get if you were on a tariff or something like that. You can't get it with street furniture, unfortunately. So we're just, it's a bite the bullet.
Anything else, councillors? Okay, can I have someone please to propose we accept?
With that.
Sorry?
With that amendment.
With that amendment, yes. The
Yes, sorry. Yes, I do apologise.
Councillor Sullivan will propose. Can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Small, second. All those in favour? Unanimous. Agenda item 24097 to receive any reports from our Hamforth Ward Council.
Not currently.
Nothing? Okay, thank you. Agenda item 24098 is to discuss and agree up to 4 community skip days to be held during 24-25, possibly one per quarter up to a maximum value of £1,200 plus VAT. This item was deferred from our previous meeting. Councillor Moore, would you like to speak to the council because you've done
just
a considerable amount of research?
Well, there's 3 quick points really. One, basic experience of I was involved in one last year, and then based on the Facebook comments, I think it's important to put on the advert what you can put into it. And that's created issues, I think. That's one or two of them. That's not difficult, I don't think, to do that. Second one is the Onward one recently and ours filled very quickly, and yet we can have a bigger skip. We currently have the 12 cubic metre one, which was, Roger will qualify this one, it's a price rise, was £300. For 320, it's 14 cubic metres, and for 340, it's 1,600 cubic metres, 60 cubic metres. So it's, they're filling very quickly. It's another 40 quid. It's probably worth having the bigger skip, I'd have thought. And the final quick point is one that's been raised. We've had the poll on the website recently to see what people would like in terms of alternating Saturday or a weekday. And although quite a low turnout, 33 votes, which was interesting in itself, it was 58% alternating, 30 Saturday and 20 or whatever for the Monday. If we work with Onward, they do Monday, I guess. it would seem clear to have a Saturday. Then we get the alternating bit, and you'd be counting for both groups, I think, really. That's it, really. I think they mention other things, but that's I think the very simple improvements, I think, on what we've already got. I'm not against having them, that's for definite.
Chair, the motion itself needs to be amended because
that's right.
Maximum value of £1,200 has to be increased to £1,300 if it's just a question of 4 by 12-yard skips. If, as Councillor Moore has suggested,
there is a slight price rise in April, which is now apparently.
But if you have a larger skip than a 12-yard one, then of course you could add a bit more as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, apologise, Peter. I only managed to get to look at this properly last night. I've been quite busy. One of the points is about advertising the event. Where would the advertising be?
Well, it's been paper-branded ultimately, our website. It can go beyond that, I think, but it's already oversubscribed, so I think to advertise it wide would be perhaps a mistake.
Will it be? Did you say Facebook?
Facebook website, our Facebook, and shared with community Facebook and so on, which we've done thus far. I'm not against that, I don't think.
Sure.
Just make it clear on that what you can put in it, which has caused, I think, issues in recent times. It's not a big deal, it's just being clear, I think.
Sure.
Which was about last meeting, I wasn't looking to make big changes, it was just to review what we've got and can we tweak it anyway to make it even better.
You mentioned about Brocklenhurst won't take asbestos tiles.
Yeah.
That should include all paint, or oil, or chemicals.
No.
Not many skip places do that, do they?
They won't take it.
I don't, well, John, we can decide against those. I don't care really. Mattresses, big sofas, we decide what goes in it. If you want to not have paint in it, don't have paint in it.
That's right, but there's been no sofas put in any skip in the last 5 years.
So, yeah.
There's been no sofas put in a skip
Yeah.
in the last 5 years.
But next time there might be.
Can I just say?
Yes, there might be, but
Just 1 minute.
The one, sorry,
Just 1 minute.
sorry, Peter, the one that we had, that Sue and I monitored, a guy came with a sofa on a trailer. We said, you can't put that in
when
there.
was that?
The last time we did
Does
this.
it matter,
When we
John?
did the Saturday one,
There's a number of issues that
When we
just like
No, when
My
we did
query
the
stands.
Saturday morning, when it was on the Saturday morning. a
In the
guy
summer,
came-
August,
in
I
the
think it was.
summer, yeah,
Right.
and a guy came with the tip-up truck, and also a guy came with a load of paint, but the skip man, whose skip it was there, and he just turned to him and said, sorry mate, we don't take paint.
that's right. That's
Can I
right.
repeat, John?
So-
Can I repeat? I've just said we will decide what goes in it. You decide as a group what goes in it. I've mentioned odd things. That's not in tablets of stone. It's what we decide amongst ourselves, what we think goes into it. So you're really going over ground which is irrelevant, I'm afraid.
Well, it's not to those who manage to get whatever it is that they want to chuck. And they find out when they get there that they can't go in there.
That's what I'm saying. Put down
There
what
was
you
a
can.
situation with, I believe it was a recliner chair that was being put in the last one.
Yeah.
And people said, well, you can't put that in there. The reason it was there is because the woman who used to have it was being moved downstairs. Her bed was being moved into the lounge because she was terminal. And they had to get rid of the chair in order to accommodate the bed. There's circumstances that you can't say, well, you can't sing that in there because it's not on. There are certain circumstances that you have to take into consideration.
So you put in the advert on the day, we can make judgments. It's our choice what goes in.
Yeah.
It's giving some clarity, John. To put nothing is stupid.
I'm
To
not
put
saying,
something, to give some guidelines, has to make some sense.
yes, I agree.
And
I'm not saying to put nothing. All I'm saying is that there has to be mattresses, say that they can't put mattresses in. That's the main thing that people
Right.
fight it.
Can I say back, John? I've just said.
Can I just
No,
cover
no,
that?
please,
1
please,
second.
I've said
Dan's going
this
to be coming in a minute.
evening, I've said, we will decide what goes in. I gave some suggestions. That wasn't in tablets of stone. We decide ourselves.
And that's why I'm making comment on it, which I think is
That's fine.
But you
legitimate.
also, can I
Onward
just say,
won't be doing skips on a Saturday.
Well, that's fine, that's
That's-
onwards
What's the
choice.
say, John? Later Monday, where's the Saturday? Oh, we may do Saturday. It's up to us to decide. It's a suggestion as to what we might do. We will decide, ultimately.
And when the skip was becoming full, what Julie and Ashley have been doing is telling people, don't come, it's full now.
How we
Because,
tell people?
you know,
That's what we need,
How we tell
better
people?
control, so that we know.
Julie puts it on the Hamforth community Facebook page.
But we don't say that.
No,
Before you
but
come,
she-
check the Facebook, we'll tell you if it's true or not.
Yeah,
Put say that.
Yeah.
that's the service that everyone's been getting. That's however long it is. If we do have to get another one delivered at short notice, will that be reflected by some flexing in the budget to allow those extra funds?
We'll decide, won't we?
Well, it depends whether we agree that we're going to have one delivered at short
It's a
notice.
suggestion,
We
it's a
have to
thought.
agree that if we're going to do that.
Which there have to be sufficient funds.
Yeah.
in the
Yeah, so
budget
it would
Yeah.
probably, so you'd either change the budget, we've already said
Yeah.
that they're going up anyway, so we need to change the budget.
Yeah.
So,
And final thing, where it says at the bottom, working with other people and groups, for example, Cheshire East. Cheshire East won't provide skips, but will charge for pickup and disposal. So there's no actual working with Cheshire East. Scrappers are contacted when metals are left, and they come and pick it up. White van man, they're usually prevented from using the skip, which is why the skip has to be attended. And I don't know of any other groups that were identified. And just occurs to me, why not review what actually happens first before coming up with the changes? Have a skip out, and you know, for those who haven't ever manned a skip, it's good information and good practice, good, you know, procedural, so that we know what to actually expect in the future.
my suggestion was that because we can't have large items put in the skip, because they will just fill the skip. So you can't put mattresses in, you can't put settees in, unless we decide that people can do that, would be that we had a collection of big items and say, right, we're having a van, he's going to come round the estate, and people ring up and say, I've got this, I've got that, and I'm quite happy to be the person to contact them. I've got X, Y, and Z, and we'll see what we've got, and we'll get a guy to go and pick up the mattresses, pick up the couches, whatever it is, and deliver them to the tip on our behalf. And that, I hope, would help stop fly tipping of things like mattresses.
Like the tips are closing.
But there will be a
Tips are
tip
closing.
open, there'll be a tip open somewhere.
There'll be Manchester ones, but you can't go in unless you've got a Manchester
There'll be a tip
postcode.
open somewhere that somebody will be able, that he will be able to go to, and he'll be able to pick up those items. If we don't get people going for it, if there aren't mattresses and things, in fact, we haven't got a problem with fly tipping then, have we? So we don't have to worry about it. But I think it's something we could trial and see whether that will help. Because if we start putting mattresses and couches and everything else in, all those people are not going to get their rubbish in there. So that's my suggestion.
Could we work in conjunction with some, like the Charity East just hospice who take furniture? If we're doing a van and the furniture's useful,
if it's
it can then be
if it's, you know,
dropped off rather
okay.
than taken to the tip. Because they will come and pick up from
I know
their
they
own
will.
home.
Yeah, that's
But if
another
we're
option.
saying we'll save you a journey this month because we'll do a trawl, then surely they gain
Yeah,
and everyone
absolutely.
gains. Obviously, they won't take mattresses,
No, they won't.
but
No,
your
right.
usable furniture, they will.
Yeah.
And they'll, I
But
think,
it needs to be
Yeah.
coordinated.
Yeah,
It can't
it
just
does.
be there's a white van man coming
Yeah.
today, and then
No,
thousands
you have
of
to
people
book.
turn up with
You'd
it.
have to
That's
book
not
your
gonna work,
slot
is it?
and say
Yeah.
what you had. Like, you know, if you've got a bed without the mattress,
Yeah.
there's some charity will use them.
Yes, they will.
Definitely.
Yeah, but
You
not
know.
the mattresses.
Not the mattresses.
Yes.
Just totally gone out of my head now. I'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Also,
Oh, sorry, yeah, sorry. Are the community skip days going to all be in the same place?
No.
I don't think they should be. That's my
So-
personal
so
opinion, but it's
They
down to
were
the council.
originally
to
just
decide.
on the estate like the shops, weren't they?
No, there's different areas.
Okay.
Knoll Park, Merriton Road,
Right,
Spath Lane, a couple of different locations on Spath Lane.
yeah.
And we had one looking for somewhere on the south board. The only place we could find actually was
Here.
in the car park here. And we struggled, but that was about half full by the time we finished.
Can we include the other estates?
The benefits
Well,
somewhere
this is for debate, you know, because as far as
Yeah.
I can see, where was the one on Meriton Road?
halfway down on the grass, where there's that kick back in the
Oh,
middle.
yeah, on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Right.
Can the
No,
large
no.
skips be accommodated on a roadside? Is there any restrictions on?
Yeah, you need to have a
They've
skip
got to be
license.
Okay.
off the road.
Yeah,
Get a skip
Right.
license, yeah.
yeah,
You're not allowed to put them on the road.
right.
So, yeah. So it depends what councillors want to do. We've got, obviously, the Spath Lane Estate, the Lakes Estate,
Yeah,
Knoll Park and Meriton Road, and then Hallwood
yeah.
over there. So it's what councillors want.
I just remembered my other point. How many other town councils
No,
in the area provide a skip for the
No.
I
residents?
don't think
No.
anybody does.
none in Cheshire East.
No,
Okay.
there isn't.
No,
But it,
Curious.
in fairness, it was Councillor Julie Smith that started it, and I think it's a great idea.
It is.
Oh,
Because
it
we
is.
don't have any fly tipping now.
No, it is. It's a good idea.
The other
And it
town
could make
council
it
in
work a bit
America have been
better, that would be
asking us how we do it.
Yeah,
What?
perhaps I can,
Wilmslow Town Council have been
I'll ask
asking.
them how we do it.
You know
just
what
point out
we
that
do?
Wilmslow Town Council, they had told, they wanted one on Coleshaw, and they told one of the town councillors who was on Coleshaw that they had to put a grant request in order to pay for the skip. So that's the
That's
level
fair,
of commitment
yeah.
from Wilmslow,
Yeah.
which has a lot
I
of
mean,
money.
is there an opportunity for a green skip, say? I mean, a lot of people don't.
Well, I think
pay.
you're touching on a dodgy area there, aren't you?
Yeah,
Because
no.
some people pay for their green bins.
Yeah, but for those who don't,
I think it's better just not
Not
spoken
to
about,
do
to be honest.
yeah, fair enough.
I know really
They
upset
will
if they
take-
started having a green
Well,
skip.
They will take green waste into
Yeah.
the skip.
Yeah,
It's
But
whether
what
you turn
the
a blind
council-
eye or,
sorry.
you know,
What do councillors think about where the skip should be?
I was just curious whether it moved about.
Well, I think the skips should cover all of our
I agree.
council, not just, I mean, okay, we're lucky that Onward provide a skip on Spath Lane. So really, the council don't need to put a skip on Spath Lane because Onward already
Yes,
do
but
it.
don't Onward match it? Because
That-
we
well,
put
that
a
used to be
skip,
the
don't
case.
they put a skip?
I've just
That is
spoken
the case, but,
to Wendy Bibby
but-
and,
but the-
sorry.
Hang on, just 1 second, sorry, keep it.
because there's going to be different situations, different places for the skips to be decided on by the council. I believe that Onward are staying just obviously on Spath Lane,
Yeah.
and they'll just remain discreet, separate.
That's right. They'll pay
So
for
they'll be
this
paying
Spath
for
Lane
So
one.
does the
So
same
we're
apply
going
to
to
Knoll
Spath Lane.
Park?
I think so. I
Yeah,
can't say
but
for sure.
in fairness, that's fine for Knoll Park, because once again, that's covered by Onward. But the Lakes Estate, we would need to put one on the Lakes
Yeah.
Estate because we're not being fair.
And Meriton Road.
Okay, so
Meriton
we've got a
So-
fairly broad view here that people would like to have them, the 4 skips in various areas.
Yeah.
Yes? Well, I think we need to change the amount of money.
Oh, it needs to be amended to 1,480.
can there be a
That's the largest
contingency
capacity.
fund? If there's a need for a sudden extra skip, can there be an allowed? A
Yeah.
contingency?
If you add another 370 onto that.
Yeah,
I mean, it might never be used, but for instance, you know, it might
As an
be.
it's
emergency.
what they'll do.
Yeah.
If you prime them, they probably get to them about half an hour.
Yeah,
And they charge £20 extra over the normal charge for the
Yeah.
skip. It could be a smaller skip for that matter.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can have the big skip.
I mean, probably never
Everyone knows
used
where they'll
it.
fill it. It's the problem. You don't know where you're going to fill it.
1,850.
Oh, gosh, that's fine.
no,
Yeah.
not for the number.
But
Oh, yeah, I know.
that would only be.
It's the
in
largest
other
skip
words.
Yeah,
size,
that's the
and
biggest
it's,
skip
and that's
size.
an extra skip if.
If-
Right.
Okay.
And to be honest, we've got the money. Let's do something for the community.
Well,
Let's
yeah.
get these skips out there, because the more we say that the town council are paying for them, the better we look.
Mm,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the amended budget is,
1850.
sorry,
Yeah, can I just make the point that any skips, whoever is going to be manning that skip on that particular day has to be there before the skip arrives.
Yeah.
Because that's why
Yeah.
it arrived there early, that last one.
that's no problem.
That's why it was filled up so quickly.
Right.
Yeah. We'll have volunteers, won't we, councillors?
Yes,
Oh,
of
yes.
course, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so can we amend the motion then to read Agree the 4 community skips, 24.25.
We'll
With a
include
value of,
we'll include an additional if required,
yeah,
of 1,850
if we require an
if
emergency
we can
skip.
provide the emergency.
Okay,
That's the trick, isn't it? That's the one where you fit into.
yeah, okay.
But it's stuff you see, you know, we try, if it looks plausible, we try it, it doesn't work, it works.
Okay. I'll
Place
propose
there.
that one.
Yeah.
I'll second it.
Yep. All those in favour? Yes, good.
Do you advertise the skips before they get
Yeah.
put out?
Yeah.
Where does it get advertised?
Julie puts it on, I was putting it on Facebook,
Right.
usually on about 7 different pages.
How much in advance does it go on?
Councillor,
About a
can we
week or
just
so.
get on? Sorry, but we've got quite a lot to get through yet. 24099 is to retrospectively approve the quotation of 1995 plus VAT for the building survey for the youth centre. Prospective tenants also instruct pre-acquisition surveys, particularly when entering into substantial leases. These surveys inform clients on the condition of the property, any structural deficiencies, and the extent and cost of repairs and maintenance that are required.
No debate.
It's no debate, we just need to vote.
You've already agreed it at the last
We've already
meeting.
agreed it, so I'll propose it.
I'll second it.
All those in favour?
Can I just ask, is the council proposing to rent the community centre? Because I wasn't obviously there for this bit.
We are going to take out a long-term 99 year
Yearly.
lease. 99
Does that
year lease.
include maintenance and repair
Yeah.
of building,
Yes.
roof,
Yes,
boiler?
Yes, that covers everything.
Which is why this survey is important, because
Yes.
it's
Yes.
been done by professionals.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
will advise that
Highlight.
that's perfect,
Yeah.
that's not so perfect.
Yeah.
If
Then
in
we know
12
what we're
months'
in for,
time
don't
it comes
we?
back to say, well,
Yeah.
what you said was perfect isn't,
Yeah,
well, you have to.
yeah, and we've already sort of agreed it as a council at the last meeting.
right.
But
So then you
perhaps,
can do a deal with Cheshire if the boiler
Yeah,
needs to.
Well, we wouldn't
Yeah.
go into a lease without having something like
No,
that.
no, I agree. I just wondered what,
Okay.
what the history was.
Did
of
we
it.
vote on that?
We would take
Yeah.
ownership of it.
Right, okay.
And the surveyors are
We
going to
take
be
ownership
of it,
independent.
Yeah.
and they've
Yeah,
already
we
done it.
discussed before.
So-
Yeah.
They've already been round and
Let's
back.
move
Slowing
on,
down.
councillors,
Yeah.
please. Agenda item 240910 to sign
We haven't
section.
had a vote on it.
We
Oh,
have.
we have, yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
Wake up, Cynthia.
The annual governing statement 23-24 of the year ending the 31st of March 24. Has anybody got any issues with it? I see the hand. No.
No,
No.
Okay, can I have a proposal to accept it then, please? Thank you, councillor Stanton, councillor Small. Second, all those in favour? Agenda item 240911 to sign section 2, the accounting statements 23-24 of the year ending 31st of March, annual return. Proposer? Thank you, councillor Sampson. Seconder? Okay, councillor Small. All those in favour? Thank you.
Let's actually do this as well, because I need to send this off.
Do you want me to sign
Yeah.
it now?
That's the last piece of the
That
puzzle. This will be year end done, thank God.
Ready?
That's it.
Okay. Right, agenda item 240912 to continue HTC's monthly funding support to Hope Central of up to £90 a month. My proposal, we did this last year because we keep giving money to Hope Central because they need it. When we had a discussion in a meeting with them several months ago, what they want is ongoing income. They want to know that they've got a certain amount of money coming in. So I would like to propose that we continue to do it. Does anybody have any questions? Yes, councillor
just a
Smith.
question on the, where, I know they do great work, and I've been involved in delivering quite a few things in the past myself. My query would be, is there a regular assessment of how many of their deliveries go to people in Handforth rather than other places?
The last time I spoke to them, which was about 4 months ago, they were very keen to stress that they had quite a number of people in Hamford, and not only with the food bank, but also with the financing and things about the people who are getting to debt and so forth and so on. So yes, they are helping people in Hamford. We're not. You're concerned with supporting Wilmslow and
Yes,
other
because
places. Yeah, I
they've got
understand
their
that.
own town council who have
Yes,
those.
yeah.
facilities.
I think you'll always get a bit of a crossover, won't you, with any of these things? You're bound to. Hopefully, Wilmslow Town Council might do something similar, but I certainly feel that, from my point of view, that they're covering what we need for our people here.
I know when we nominated families from the school, they were supported, which was very useful because you often see the parents at the school. But I'm just saying, £90 a month presumes what you did last year.
No, it was
With the
75.
75.
Ah, right.
We have
I was
up
going to say, can we up it to 100 if it was £90 last year?
yeah, we did 75 last year, so we're
Right.
going to go up to 90.
All right,
And it's
sorry.
the constraints of budget, I'm
Yeah,
afraid.
yeah, sorry. I
And we've
didn't
got the
realise that.
budget, we've
Yeah.
got
It's
money
and that
there,
Yeah.
within,
haven't we?
Yeah.
So
That's
I would like to propose it if there's no other questions. Okay, seconder.
everybody.
Are you losing your mumblebee?
Right, okay, there we
All
go.
those in favour? It's unanimous, thank you. Thank you for that. 240913 to provide an update on the 80th anniversary D-Day event details for Handsforth.
Okay, so firstly,
And Mr Sampson wants
you want to say
something
anything?
as well.
No, that's okay. I mean, if it rises,
Okay,
we
fine.
chill.
Firstly, the Nappy Break Group, the veterans, volunteered themselves to take on the bulk of the organisation and what have you. And I'm grateful to have that monkey off our back.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
They've introduced me to, I don't know if I'm quite right about this. I met them last week. The Cheshire Villages War Society, something along those lines.
Cheshire Veterans.
No, Cheshire Villages War Society. Apparently they go around, they've done one, so they do events. They do a lot of events. Yeah, I'm sorry about, I was just a bit, well. Anyway, they're going to fill this place up with military memorabilia and, you know, things along those lines, uniforms for you to try and do things on those lines, and hopefully some military vehicles outside. Spoken to the round table about doing a bar outside, and they're quite happy to do that.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Council, we need to provide fun and games for the children, and the cheapest I can find is £995 for a fully manned inflatable obstacle course and jousting thing, giant jousting. Inflatable jousting. It's all supervised.
The other company's gone bust.
Yeah, the other company's gone bust. Their website's disappeared.
Yeah, that's fine.
But unfortunately, it's gone up. And we might have to control him back for a bit more money next month, maybe.
Well, I think we should charge for the inflatable £1 a time for the kids, because when we had it free in the paddock, it was an absolute nightmare and nobody could control it. And John and I at the end went home with headaches.
Well,
Don't forget, they will supervise it. They
It's
have
here,
staff.
isn't it?
It is staffed by them. Yeah,
On
and
the
it's here.
grass. On the grass, yeah.
If you want to charge, we can do. It's fine.
I was going to say this,
And
when we had the Bouncy Castle for the Christmas light switch on 2 years ago, people couldn't believe that it wasn't a quid per child, it was nothing because the town council had paid for it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
3 kids here. No, sorry, it's your money. And that's a great way of giving PR.
Yeah.
Good PR to tell people,
Yeah,
well, no.
Paul and
you're
I will
not paying for
decorate
it.
with bunting, have it inside and out. That's not a problem. We'll get the bunting and that sort of unit, Jack.
Well, if we need to put the budget up, we need to put it
We
up.
might
We've
need
got
to.
enough
We can
money.
come back next month and do that if we need to. If we find we need to, but we might not. Idea from the Happy Group was, shall we get some hay bales off the likes of Chris Shenton for people to sit on, pop them around the area?
Yeah,
Or straw.
stick it outside.
I would like these to borrow some tents from the Scouts.
Right. Yeah.
So we've got some shelter somewhere.
Right. Okay. And we've got a couple of marquees, which we could put up.
So I think we could just do with having a few of those. But just going back to the point about charging, we discussed this in the group last night, and the idea was not that the money then comes to the council, that then goes to charity. So go to the veterans group or something.
Yeah,
Or
that give it
not back
to
to the
them.
council.
Yeah.
Let Naffy
Um,
break.
Let Naffy Break have it, yeah,
So
because,
it would just be a bit of a help
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or if
I
we
just-
just have a bucket for donations.
Yeah. well, sometimes you get more having a
Yeah.
bucket than you
For
do
donations, yeah.
charging, don't
I
you?
don't want to have to get us particularly involved.
No.
in
I
anything.
think leaving it with Naffy break is.
But
better,
obviously,
because they're very
An
enthusiastic.
appearance on the day,
Yeah.
And
The
it,
councillor's happy with
he'll
that.
bring in a lot of,
Yeah.
a
It
lot.
sounds very good, to be fair.
Yeah.
I wondered, looking at Councillor Betty over there, if the schools have got any, you know, when you have your Christmas fair and you have the stalls and things,
Yeah.
do you think, are there any that they might loan to us? I'm just thinking of having more activities for the kids to do, you know.
I don't think we've got any left because
You
the
haven't?
PTA folded
Oh,
and the new
God,
Friends of
yeah.
Hanford Grange had a big clear out and we don't have a fair anymore because
Right.
there just isn't.
So you don't think there's any?
I don't think so,
Will
but
you check?
I'll ask Colin, yes.
Yeah, because
I'll
that
ask
might be
Colin.
helpful,
We
and I'll
might-
ask the same as St Benedict's.
I don't know whether we've got the, no, I'm not sure, but I'll ask.
I'd just
Maybe
like to
there's
see a few simple things, you know, perhaps like a treasure hunt and
Sorry, Roger.
that kind of
Yeah.
thing. Pass that over. So, yeah, if you could.
Yeah.
Take one each.
Anything else, anybody?
Sorry.
Roger's printed these off, if we're looking at something, anything in this line. But we were thinking about, well, Naffy Break, we're thinking about producing some banners anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll give them this
Bunting and things
information,
going
I'll
on.
give them this information.
yeah.
Yeah, like the coronation,
Which one?
you can have anniversary flags for D-Day, anniversary banners, anniversary lamppost signs, and I don't recommend the anniversary lamp light of peace, which is a hurricane lamp priced at £55.
We're only going to decorate.
We're
We're only
saying,
doing the
yeah,
youth centre, we're
Yeah,
not doing the
yeah,
whole village,
yeah,
no.
yeah, we're only doing the youth centre, yeah.
Can I ask you how many councillors will be available on the 1st of June?
I have to check my diary.
I don't think there's
Is that Saturday?
any,
Yeah.
you know, at gunpoint need for you to come down for any reason, to be perfectly honest, but it'd be nice that you're available for us.
Yeah, Saturday.
We are having a band, by the way, a 40s band, isn't it?
We're going, yes, yes.
They will be playing from 3 o'clock until 7, because we intend to close the event at 7. So we'll have the band here for 4 hours, and they'll be hopefully in there.
We'll be playing swing.
Yeah.
So you've got Glenn Miller
And
dredged
we're
up from
having
the
a-
channel.
Indeed.
Sorry?
Have you got Glenn Miller dredged up from the
Yes.
Yes, you've
We
been
have.
And the other thing, we suggested last night that we'd have a fancy dress for the kids.
We did, but Ashley informed me earlier on that neither of the schools are interested in taking part.
Because they're not,
Because it's half term, or the beginning of half term, or something.
or the end of
So
term.
the poster thing, we'll have to see whether the schools are interested in doing it or not. Because we were going to have a poster competition as
It's
well,
half term.
and then a prize and so forth.
And we've
So-
got a group in China and a group in Spain, and it's also the under SATs, so it's a bit of a,
All right.
Mm. So we'll have to
So
just,
we'll have to do our own poster.
I think so.
Yeah, I think
Oh, no,
Naffy
we
will,
can ask
I
the
think
question.
Naffy will use our town
If they
logo,
come back and say
their
no,
logo,
then no.
and do something
Yeah.
like, and that line, yeah.
Was that it? Was that all?
Yeah, that was pretty much all of that.
Yeah. What about the scouts, brownies?
No, don't talk about that, scouts, no, got no takers. Scout leader got in touch with me, just said, because it's half term, we're not gonna, so we're just gonna have to open it to the public and leave it as is, sort of thing. It's gonna be one of those, there'll be different generations coming, but
I think if Naffy Break do what he says he's going to do, and he
Yeah.
has some equipment here,
Yeah.
tanks,
Oh, yeah,
guns,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
anything like that, that'll attract a decent crowd.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And the army cadets are going to come out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think in that
Is there any way
respect,
we can get in contact with the Cheshire Regiment? because the Jamie,
Yeah, I know, yes,
Well,
they were here.
there was a
I
massive-
imagine the NAFI group.
I think NAPI group,
Yeah.
yeah, spoke to them,
Yeah.
to be perfect. I think the NAPI group spoke to them actually, so, yeah. I'm gonna see him on Thursday, so I'll sort of liaise
Yeah.
back with him.
NAFI group,
Sorry,
NAFI
Okay.
group.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay,
speak to him
anything
again on
more
Thursday and
councillors
mention
on that one? No? Okay, let's move on then. Motion 240914 to consider a donation towards the 100th anniversary of First Handful Scouts. The Scout group is currently raising money towards a trip to Switzerland in 2025 up to the maximum value of £1,000. Councillor Sullivan.
Okay, try not to keep you long. So obviously, as Councillor Moore just stated, Handful Scouts are 100 years old next year. They are the next oldest organisation in the area after St Chad's. The plan is for them to take 25 children and 12 leaders. Now, 3 of the children have got hidden disabilities as well. To a camp in the Swiss Alps, which was set up by Lord Baden-Powell himself, called Cantersteg. It's the ultimate scouting experience, and it gives them an opportunity to work towards badges and also meeting scouts from all over the world. It's like a massive event. The cost for a week, travel and activities, food, etc., comes in at 34 grand.
Wow.
So they're doing all their own fundraising towards it. They're doing raffle tickets, they're doing plant sales. They've got local businesses donating prizes. So quite a lot of the Handful community shops have got involved in this. And I just thought, could we offer it, as it's such a special event. I mean, 100 years is massive. The Scouts have always had a lot to do with community events, bar the one we just discussed. I did speak to one of the Scout leaders about them potentially on the VE Day promoting their raffle ticket sale, so that would involve someone coming in.
Yeah,
as
it
a
would,
leader.
wouldn't it? Yeah.
He was quite happy about that. But yeah, it was just, obviously bear in mind, it's a donation, it's not a grant. We don't need to be asking them about bank details,
it's just a
etc.
donation.
So
We're
it was
already
just,
well aware of their bank.
it was just people's thoughts really. Myself personally, I'd like to go for the 1,000 because I just think it's such a special event. The fact that they're not asking for the money, this is me, I've brought this to the table. I've contacted the Scout leader and he was just like, wow, even if he said anything. But I just think such a special occasion and such an opportunity for Handful children to get this chance. I know when I brought it to you, you said that you had a similar experience.
Well, yes, many moons ago when I was a girl guide, I went to our chalet in Switzerland. Many moons ago.
When Baby Powell was alive.
I was a girl guide, yeah. And it was the very first time I'd ever been abroad. I can't remember how old I was, about 14, something like that. And it was a wonderful experience. It was just something I would never have been able to afford to do it if I hadn't have gone with the Girl Guides because my mum didn't have any money. So it was just one of those things, and it was absolutely amazing. So I am 100% behind this because I don't think you can.
Is it
better
being
that
fully
experience.
funded by the groups, or are the Scouts that go in being asked to put money to it?
He's not suggested that they've been asked to
Right,
provide
that's
anything
okay. I just
towards it.
wondered, they're fully funding it. For
They are,
everyone.
that's why they're doing so much fundraising so that they
yes,
can get. But
How many children?
20, so it's 25 children, 3 of them with hidden disabilities.
So can't we up this?
Well, I didn't put the £1,000 on, Ashley did.
I was thinking in lieu of a grant application this year.
But it isn't.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But in lieu of a grant application.
If we can put more towards it, I'm all up for it.
Wow.
But that's the decision of the council.
Comments, councillors? This is your council.
I don't know.
I just think if it's something that they haven't requested, I think getting £1,000 will be very, very happy for them.
And we
Not
can
just
always
conscious,
review
They can
it.
always ask
Yes.
in the future if they're struggling.
If they're falling short, yes,
but
indeed.
that's why I wanted to ensure that it was clear that it was us approaching them and saying,
Yeah,
this is an
not a
amazing,
grant, no.
you know, an opportunity. It's 100 years. You don't get that with a lot of clubs now.
Yeah, true.
And that was my thinking. I just, to be honest, I didn't even know until I got this plant thing through my door, and they've used it as an opportunity to just mention, oh, by the way, we're 100. And I was like, wow, that's a massive achievement, you know. So that was where I was coming from.
Okay. Anything else?
I think we
Anybody?
give the 1,000 and then nearer the time,
We can
we
review.
can top it up.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
If necessary.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, propose it then.
Okay, so just clarifying, if we top it up, is that like then putting a grant application in, or is it another donation?
No, we would top it up.
Right, okay.
So it'd be, you know.
Yeah.
So let's go for the 1,000 and
Okay.
see where they get. Yeah. Okay, so we've got a proposer and a seconder.
Who's a second?
Councillor Sampson.
Sorry, Steve. I didn't see you behind.
All those in favour? Yep.
Thank you very much, everyone. He's going to be a
I'm
very
going,
happy
I'm going
man.
to abstain.
One abstention.
The reason being,
You don't have to give a reason.
You don't have to give a
Right,
reason, Roger.
but I will do. I'd hoped, I'm very supportive of the Scouts in general and their 100th anniversary. I would have liked to have seen our £1,000 go towards something tangible rather than into a general pot. And that's why I'm abstaining.
Okay,
That's the only
fine.
reason.
You're entitled to your viewpoint. Okay, agenda item 240915, to consider a request from the Grange School to sponsor the funding of a breakfast club for school children over the course of one school year. Total request £760. We did this last year, did we not?
Not
Was it the
last
year
year, it might have been the
before?
year before.
Was it the year before?
It was the year before.
And it's a request for a lot of the children. Well, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, isn't it? And for a lot of them, they don't get breakfast at home. So I'm fully supportive of this, so open to the floor.
Can I ask what it was last year, or the year before?
I think it was a similar amount, to be honest. Yeah, was it a little bit less? Was it less or less?
Yeah.
I remember it being around about
Yeah.
700. It was 2 years ago. How do you?
Because I was there.
I don't remember.
And he gave me the check.
Can I ask, would St Benedict's be also benefited from this sort of?
Only if they ran it.
They don't do
And they don't do
breakfast.
it.
They don't do,
They-
I don't think.
They do a
No, they don't.
uniform thing
Yeah.
that we have supported.
Right.
Yeah.
I think John's made
But
a
obviously, if St Benedict's came to us, you know, with a similar sort of request, then we have to treat them equally, don't we?
Yeah, perhaps it just needs mentioning to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do St Benedict's know about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've had for something else. They don't do this, but they do something else. And I'm
Yeah,
assuming they'll come to us with that request.
Yeah.
In the course of
Which
the
is
year.
fine. Anything else, anybody?
Just a quick comment, a certain person in his video is quite right, you're hogging the emotions, you know.
Oh dear, because it was.
Oh, gosh.
You said something. Okay, thank you. I'll propose it. Can I have a second? All those in favour? Okay, where are we? Oh, 240960. Set up a working group to discuss future emergency planning. This came from the issues that happened when one of the 3 tower blocks had a emergency over last weekend, was it? Or the weekend before now? And it just made me think that we need to have an emergency plan. I'm not going to make comments about things because I'd like to have a meeting with Onward, because I do think there are some issues that need to be addressed. But if we as the town council can help with our emergency plan, so I mean, it could be anything. I mean, we were talking last night and Mr. Sampson over there said, well, what about all the aircraft that go over our heads? And absolutely true, anything could happen. So if there was an emergency of any sort, the town council need to be prepared. What can we do? I mean, we would open the youth centre. we could open the churches, we could do whatever we wanted to do, but we don't currently have a plan in place.
What happened last Saturday?
There was a
electricity
failure
knocked out.
in
The
a
water
water
leak.
leak and a failure
Oh,
in
that's
the
right, yeah.
electrical.
Yeah, can I bring something up?
Sorry.
Can I bring something up regarding what happened last week? That Onward actually contacted the Joint Cheshire Emergency Planning Team, who are always on call, and asked for their assistance. And the duty officer, Derek Hart, responded. Excuse me.
A duty officer from Cheshire East.
Well, it's Joint Cheshires. Cheshire
Right.
East and Cheshire West and Chester. And it's a group which has put together the emergency planning team, and Onward got in touch with that planning team because there are certain things that may be suitable for a town or parish council to be involved in, but we wouldn't have any sanction over what Onward do as a private business.
Yeah.
So they responded and discussed with Onward how they could help. As an example, 2 vulnerable adults who lived in there were found accommodation, I believe. A lot of people have complained about the accommodation that was found. I'll make you aware of one thing that caused a problem was the local, what's it called, the small hotel at the
Premier Lodge.
Premier Lodge. I think there's one in Poynton, Addington, and people were being moved in taxis to their accommodation, wherever it may be. And when they got to the Addington Lodge, they wouldn't let them in because they'd left here at about 12:30, something like that, in the fleet of taxis. The rooms have been arranged, but because what's been happening in the past at that particular travel lodge is that people will get drunk in Poynton or whatever and come on, I want a room. So they don't allow anyone in after 2 a.m. The thing that caused the problem was that when they arrived there, on their watches it was 1 a.m. because the clocks had gone forward. So even though that they were there before the real time, they said, no, you can't come in. And there's been a lot of complaints about that. But they found hotels for everybody. There was a few people that were staying with family who lived on the estate. A good example of when the emergency planning team were involved was in 2019, when the River Dean was threatening to burst its banks and flood properties on Finsbury Way and Welland Road. If you remember that. What the protocol is, they contact ward councillors, and that team will then liaise with the ward councillors, who would be liaising with what happens at the actual point required for the assistance. Ward Councillor Julie Smith attended the site and at that time and went to arrange the standby accommodation at Oakenclough, which is where there was the plan for Cheshire East. This is where the team will move people who have been evacuated out of their homes. The problem was most people didn't want to move from their homes because they were concerned that people might go and rob them. But the actual group, the emergency planning group, they have 6 or 7 individuals always on call. There is something which is called the, it's particularly for town and parish councils. It's called a community resilience plan, and they are happy to get someone down to local councils to go through it with them. This is the sort of thing that at this sort of level they will be looking for, perhaps encouraging, and as you say, having somewhere available for people to go to, such as the youth centre, finding accommodation for them, that sort of thing. It's something that I'm quite familiar with because in one of my last real jobs before I became a driving instructor, I was putting risk management information together for a large distribution group. What would happen if we lost one of our distribution centres? and what you'd have to do in order to continue the service to your thousands of customers.
Yeah.
So I do have a familiar feel for it, but it's something that I was going to give the details to Ashley so that you can discuss with a guy by the name of Chris Samuel, who's the team manager, which might go some way towards giving the council something that can
Yeah,
the house.
well, we want to put together a group to discuss this, because my biggest concern is the complaints that I've heard from people about the lack of coordination on the Saturday night. I don't know, because I wasn't there, I don't know, this is just hearsay, which is why I'd like to speak to residents, but it appeared to me, and I could be wrong, that there was not a proper emergency plan in place from onward. That really concerns me, because the huge learning curve was Grenfell, and after Grenfell there were lots of changes made, and one of the biggest changes that they made was the bit about communication, about how groups within tower blocks and the management team and the residents need to get together and talk and make sure everybody's singing from the same hymn sheet. And listening to what some of the people have said, I don't think that that's happening. And that concerns me, because, well, basically, it's not abiding by legislation. But I don't know.
No, I was going to
So
say
I don't want to, you know, throw a bomb in somewhere, but that's what people have said to me, that like there's no emergency evacuation procedure, it's not been done for 12 months, we've never seen anybody, nobody talks to us, there are no notices, all sorts of stuff. So I would very much like to speak to Onward, just to find out, are these things in place? You're quite right, we can't do anything about it, but I would like to know that those residents in those tower blocks are safe, basically.
On the Saturday morning, I think it was, Julia went down there to see what she could help with, and there was walking up and down the stairs, no lifts obviously, and trying to get people to leave their flats, and many people wouldn't. They were not staying.
But were the police not called?
No, they had security though. Security there to make sure that there was no one breaking into people's flats who had been taken out to where they're going to stay.
From my point of view, if the police had been called, they would have made them evacuate from that building because it was dangerous. And I think that's what should have happened. But that's just my opinion.
I don't know if the police can the police enforce that?
The whole thing kind of falls into the grey area, and with the say lack of direction or whatever, it's that obviously teaching on the stuff case. If it had been Grenfell or fire, obviously the fire take the lead, everyone takes the lead from them. It's not to downplay it, it's a leak, and they've had to get around. It's a maintenance issue. It is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But could they have requested us? Yes. Would we have attended? Pass, don't know. Which is why I think
there's just a lot of question marks.
Getting everybody around the table to discuss it, not a bad idea. You know, at the end of the day, it's touch wood, hopefully a one-off, but certainly for the handful,
we all hope
that thing. If it was any other address, you're talking one address. Because it's the tower block, you're talking, dozens and dozens, and that's what we're doing.
Just a point really of interest. I mean, obviously, Cheshire East emergency teams are, the people who deal with all, disaster planning and everything like that. But I would imagine a lot of people didn't want to leave because they were going Adlington Point and everything. If the town council held a list of people who had spare rooms in the case of an emergency,
all of them,
that we could say to Cheshire East, we have this list. And then people might be happier because they're staying in Hanford, around the corner.
And that was the objection.
Yeah, for elderly people especially, being saying you're going to Adlington, half of them won't even know where Adlington is probably. But if they're going, you're just going down the road, a lady on, Henbury's got a spare room for you, they might feel a little, and that's something perhaps as a town council we could do.
Well, that's
obviously,
what the working group
that was an example again.
Just one second, don't want to talk about
that was an example again about the Allington. majority, I believe, are at the Pinewood and
Yeah.
at the Bull's Head.
Yeah,
You know, I'm just thinking, there are, as you say, there's the Cheshire East group, I'm sure the police have emergency procedures, I'm sure the airport have emergency procedures. These are all people we should be tapping into and know, right, there's been an issue. The first thing I would have done would be knock on Richard's door and say, can we open the youth centre, please? So we can just get everybody here in the warm and they're not hanging about outside. And those kind of things need to be written in tablets of stone. And that's the idea of having a
the
group
school has
together
one.
to talk about it
We
and
have-
then bring
we have to
some
have a
suggestions
disaster
back to
plan.
the council.
We have to have a disaster plan that goes on every
Yeah.
year, you know, and major
Absolutely.
evacuation, you know, aircraft lands on the playground, that kind of thing. So it's something that, you know, yes, you should have.
So would councillors who would like to belong to the group raise their hands, please?
Can I just make a comment? I've got a relative from this tower block and she felt very vulnerable. And she said, I don't want to leave. So the guy said, that's fine, stay in your flat because your front door is fire retardant to 5 hours. Well, it wasn't a fire, was it?
No.
But anyway, she decided that she wanted to leave. Now she's disabled as well. So eventually, after 5 hours of wait, they brought her down the stairs and they were going to send her to Altrincham. I'm not going. She said, why can't we go to the Pinewood? Because the Pinewood don't want you.
No, that's not.
Excuse me, I've been into the Pinewood and I found out the woman on reception was a young receptionist and she panicked because Onward were asking for every vacant room. And the girl panicked and said, we haven't got any rooms vacant. But they did.
That's not Onward's fault, is it?
No, it wasn't Onward's fault, but Onward didn't have anybody there to communicate. That disaster guy that you spoke to, he never came out.
I don't know.
Well, I know because I was there.
What, on this Saturday night?
Yeah. And the only person that we saw was Julie Smith, nobody else. I mean, there was a guy there telling our family to sleep in the car. Oh, we can't get you.
I heard about someone who said that the only choice they had is to sleep in the car, but that's because everything hadn't been sorted out yet. You can't expect everything to come like that.
Onward didn't have a disaster plan. That's my gripe. And they admitted they didn't.
Yeah, and I can guarantee they're going to be working on that this week.
They are. They've already had a meeting.
Yeah, so
it can't come a minute too soon.
So something good has come out of it.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was organised chaos.
And at least it didn't turn out to be our Grenfell, and that, I'm very grateful for that. So those people, we've got Councillor Fogarty, you and Councillor Moore. Anybody else? Okay.
Can you give Ashley this?
Those names
Yeah.
because I'll forget.
Ashley,
Yeah.
Chris Samuel, 07733 003 122.
Yeah, got it.
And it's the Community Resilience Plan.
Okay, lovely, thank you for that info. Right, agenda item 240917 to receive notices and correspondence.
Right, the woman from the active travel plan. I want to talk about the Manchester cycle lane. Really getting on my nerves now. She's emailed me about 3 times. And I keep emailing it all out. Is nobody interested in speaking to it?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No. Interesting. Okay,
Are you interested in speaking to it?
I'd like to speak to her, yeah.
Would you?
Yeah. I would.
Good. Okay then. So I've got one taker.
I'll go.
Thank you.
It's all like you.
I'm
What do you want to talk about?
The new cycle lane.
The one
Manchester
that
bound
nearly,
one.
you nearly drive up that sensitive area.
Yeah.
I better not go. No.
Oh,
No, don't send me.
Yeah, she's spoken to you.
Don't send me.
Has there been any
So that's
incidents
Councillor
of
Moore and I.
motorists
That's
driving
right,
up
great.
onto
At least we can get some-
the cycle lane?
Well, it's modern.
I'll confess to you that I almost did it the other night.
Councillors, please. Are there any other notices?
Local plat, Mark 2.
Oh, yeah. We can do that next time. It's going to
No,
take
no,
a few
no. Are we interested in responding?
We need to respond.
Okay, that's fine.
We do need to respond.
All right.
Councillor Small.
Don't necessarily look to me, because I'm knocking on a bit now, and I'm not sure that I want to take
Really.
on the job of.
I would just like to say that the memorial service for Jamie went very well. It was incredibly well attended. And I would like to say personal thanks to Janet Taylor, who went and got the refreshments and everything else from Costco, to Carol, who served the tea, and Sue Maylett behind the coffee bar there, and did an excellent job of keeping us all fed and watered. So thank you to all of those. Thank you to Ashley for getting things underway, and I'm just glad it went well, because it was a bit concerning, but it went well. So I'm delighted, and thank you again to those people that helped out. That's all. You've got nothing else?
No.
Okay. So that's. Oh, sorry. Yes.
Obviously, Julie's not here. What's the situation with that?
Oh, she resigned.
Julie resigned
on the date after the last meeting, and I've advertised a casual vacancy with Cheshire East for the position.
What about her responsibilities within the council?
We go to AGM next month, and so all responsibilities will be again discussed, again. Which is why I think you put it on the agenda for probably for tonight, because it's going to happen in May. So just do it then.
You were sub, weren't you, for the
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, agenda item 240918 is to confirm the date for the annual town meeting for Hamford, which will be held on Tuesday, the 30th of April at 6 p.m. There is no need for any councillors to be here other than myself and the clerk, but if you wish to come along, you are more than welcome.
You all hear that? You don't have to come.
Agenda item 240919 is to agree the date of the next HTC, which is the AGM, and the full council meeting to be held on the 14th of May 2024.
Not 7:30.
Yes. Actually, no, it'll be a little early. It'll be 7 o'clock. Sorry, it'll be 7 o'clock.
It'll be 7 o'clock because there's an awful lot.
Because there's a lot to get through. It's the AGM, so we have that at 7. That's the one Tim's talking about, where we discuss who's doing what. Yeah.
Thank you very much, councillors, for attending.
Are we given a job then?
Yeah.
Oh, look at me. Don't send me
Sorry?
Don't send me to the site.
Yeah. Got to come in to speak to me anyway. The
You're almost
part around
cycle, mate.
I nearly did.
Well, good. I told him
Yes.
that I'd call him.